Hey y'all, it's Basehead Dipper here, dipping some Grizzly White Coat Wintergreen. Come and talk about my two favorite fixed blades. Now this is my personal opinion. Don't go by my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. You just got to see what works best for you. So yeah. Before I start, I want to say to all you beginner dippers out there, if you're going to start off with Grizzly, I'd recommend taking small pinches. Don't go big like I did because you will make yourself sick, and if you don't, you will be spinning. Trust me. Grizzly is pretty strong when you first start off. But anyways, I want to talk about my K-Bar first because K-Bar has a great history in the United States Marine Corps, and the backstory is pretty interesting all in itself. Now, the two knives, I already said I was going to be talking about the K-Bar, but the other knife is this survival knife from Harbor Freight for $10. I actually have a little bit of a overview of it, so yeah. Let's start off with the K-Bar. This knife was issued to the United States Marine Corps in 1942. The Marines were actually looking for a better combat knife, and a couple of manufacturers actually sent in some ideas for their combat knife, and lo and behold, they chose K-Bar. So this is one of the reasons why I like the knife. And the backstory on it is pretty interesting. Way back when, there was a hunter who was hunting, his gun jammed, and he was facing a bear, and all he had was his hunting knife. So he managed to kill the bear with this hunting knife, and he wrote a letter to the company that is now known as K-Bar, but it wasn't back then. And he had very broken English. Now, I don't know what the letter said. All I know is he said that he did kill a bear with a knife. So, when you think, the way it's spelled is Kilabar. So, what the company did was they shortened it up to say K-Bar. So, the name K-Bar actually comes from kill a bear. And so we know K-Bar as it is today. I think it's a pretty good backstory. Now, I've seen a lot of controversies on YouTube about it being knife accessory, Browning automatic rifle. Now, I'm trying to figure out how that's possible, considering you can't even attach this to the gun. It's a combat knife, not a bayonet. So yeah, I'm just going to stick to the Kill-A-Bear story because it makes more sense to me. And a lot of you people actually believe the Kill-A-Bear story because it's probably actually what happened. Because Kill-A-Bear happened a long time ago, and the guy did submit a letter. And it even says it on the website. If you look under the story, like there's a story section of how K-Bar was founded, there's actually a letter from the guy who submitted the letter itself. So they basically tell you all the information on it. Now, I may not have got that story right, but it sounded pretty accurate to me. So if I messed it up, guys, I'm sorry. And then, like I said, the Marine Corps adapted the K-Bar. They actually made it a little bit longer so you have more reach for fighting. Now, they do sell a mini or short version of it. I went ahead and got the full-size version of the United States Marine Corps K-Bar with 50-50. It's half serrated, half straight. And I actually like this design because I have the option of cutting rope. Now, most guys don't like that. They like the full straight edge or plain edge. Me, it doesn't bother me any. I like straight edges a little bit better than half serrated, half straight, or all serrated, but that's just me. But if it's a knife and it can cut and it can defend your life, damn right I'm going to use it. So yeah. And K-Bar has been making knives ever since. And they make damn good knives too. 1095 Crowvan. It's pretty good steel. Easy to sharpen. It takes an edge really well and it holds an edge. And it's really easy to polish too. I put it on this little stone right here. you've seen in one of my other videos. And it had a little bit of burr. So what I did was I took some fine sandpaper. I think it was like a 1200, 2000 grit sandpaper. And I actually got all that burr off. And now it has a smooth edge on it. It's pretty sharp. It's not razor sharp, but it's sharp enough to defend your life. So yeah. Now, moving on to the $10 survival knife that everybody knows, which is made by an unknown company, but is sold by Harbor Freight. Even though it's $10, it's pretty good. You actually have a saw on the back, and the saw is functional. It's got angled teeth, so you can actually saw through wood, so that's what this is for. They call them sawbacks, because you have your straight edge on one side, and then you have a saw on the back of the spine. So it's really good. It's a really good knife. And then, like I said in my previous video, you have a little compartment for a survival kit. I did pack mine with 550 paracord, Type 3 mil-spec, and Recon camo. And then you have the little survival kit itself. So I'm not going to take it all out because it's a pain in the ass to put back in. And believe it or not, it all fits in here. I'm really surprised. See, fits nice and snug. And screw the cap back on. Make sure it's tight so you can get that seal up in there and keep it waterproof. And it's a pretty good knife. It's sturdy. It feels solid. One thing to note when you get this knife, you're going to have to clean it off because it does come fairly sticky and it really oily. But I like oil, or like a WD-40 type of stuff, because an oil-based lubricant actually can protect your knives. WD-40 is what I use for my knives, and what I like about it has two functions. I can use this piece right here to get up in door jams, or not door jams, but door hinges, and then I can just spray it where I need it. They call this the Smart Straw. They've been making these for a while, and I find it works really well. But before I get off, guys, I do want to say something. If you're new to Ka-Bar and you're not really familiar with the 1095 Crowvan, you do have to keep oil on this or it will rust. It rusted a little bit on my knife, not too bad, but it rusted in serrations. It's like little specks, so it's not a big issue. But when I found that out, I was like, you know what? My stepdad helped me, and we got it protected now. And what's best about the 1095 Crowvan is being it is powder coated, electrostatic powder coated. It actually soaks up a lot of the oil, so you don't have to wipe the excess off. Now, I'm not going to go just yet because I actually want to talk about the sheaths that come with both knives. I find the Ka-Bar sheath is actually very well made. You got a nice leg tie hole right there, so if it's flopping around, you can tie it to your leg and keep it secure. Because, I mean, look at this. It's a fairly large knife, fixed blade knife. I would not carry this for everyday carry in my area because you cannot have a knife that is longer from the tip of your middle finger past your wrist. So that HRT boot knife that I'm getting is going to be perfect because it's under 4 inches. And I can legally carry a 4-inch knife. And the best thing about my state is I can conceal my knives that are legal. Yes, I still have to tell the cops that I do have a knife on me, but the fact that I can do concealed carry with a knife is pretty awesome. So back to the sheaths. The Ka-Bar sheath is leather. It's made in Mexico. You have the USMC branding right there with the eagle and globe, or eagle globe. wait, what is that? Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. There we go. And then you have the K-Bar branding. And it's really nice. The sheath is very well made. It's good quality. It's really stiff. It doesn't feel like a cheap leather. It's very thick. And I believe it's real leather too. And then you have the stitching all the way around with rivets going all the way around. Got a military grade snap. And I tell you, this thing right here takes a lot of force to pull it open or unsnap it. And then it has a leather retaining strap, which to me, I like when the retaining straps are a lot higher because it keeps the knife from just moving around and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going to set the K-Bar off to the side here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Harbor Freight survival knife. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. You have a nylon sheath with a plastic liner on the inside. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you got a plastic liner on the inside, which actually helps protect the stitching. And this is actually some pretty thick nylon, I'm not going to lie. It does bend a little bit easier, which is kind of good in a sense. To most people, it'd probably be a hazard or it'd break easy. But I'm going to tell you now, this sheath for the Harbor Freight knife is actually very well stitched. It's got a nice clean seam stitched here, here, and it's bordered all the way around, so you can't really see the stitching. And to me, for $10, you cannot beat it. You really can't. Now, this is just basically a talk about video. It's not really a review, even though I basically did a review on the K-Bar and this knife. Even though I haven't used this knife, the field review of it is really good. It's got good ergonomics. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's some pretty thick aluminum. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's fairly thick. It's not that thin shit that you see on them Rocky Mountain knives and the Rambo knives and whatnot. Be honest, this kind of reminds me of a Rambo knife in a sense, being it does have the hollow handle and it has a saw on the back of the blade, but it is a lot better quality than them Rambo replicas. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, you're 19 and you know what Rambo is. Yes, I do. I've actually watched Rambo First Blood. Believe it or not, it was actually on TV, I'll say about a week ago, and I enjoyed the movie. I thought Rambo was pretty badass. Fun fact about Sylvester Stallone, he was born in New York. A lot of people think he's foreign. He is not. He is born in the United States of America and New York. So yeah, just a fun fact for all you people who don't know too much about Stallone. He's a great actor. I like him. Especially in his older movies like Rambo and Rocky and all that. Yes, I know what Rocky is too. I've seen the movie. I actually have Rocky, believe it or not. So yeah. Sorry for the long video, guys. I don't really know what to talk about. Just giving you some fun facts. So yeah, guys, this is Basehead Dipper signing out.